Hi, good evening, everyone. So, continuing with the playlist of free classes for Algebra, the crash course. Today I'm here and will be discussing some very important and beautiful questions from Algebra with detailed solutions. Tell me in the comment box if I'm audible and properly visible, me and the slides. I hope they are. So, I feel that all of you must have appeared for CAT already, and all of you already have the basic understanding, not just basic, but advanced understanding of algebra. Today we'll be doing a few questions in which a lot of revision can be there, and also some new techniques probably can enlighten you. So, ready everyone? Hi, hello Kashish. Great. So here comes the first question. What is the sum of first 100 terms which are common to both the progressions 17, 21, 25, and so on, and the second series is 16, 21, 26, and so on. So we have two series, 17. Just a minute. The first series is here, and then we have the second series. I hope it is visible to everyone. To solve this question, and then we'll discuss with the solution as well. Some technical glitch, but I think it's over now. The question is visible to both to all of you. So here we have two series, and both are arithmetic progressions. That is something which you can understand. The first one has a gap of 4. The second one has a gap of 5, and so on. So we have to find the common terms and then the sum of the first 100 common terms. So let's discuss something. So how are you going to approach this question? What is the right way to approach this question? First series, you can see there's a gap of 4. The common differences. For in second, the gap is of 5. Which is the first term that we can see common? The first term that we can see common is 21, right? And as we can see that the first series is increasing by 4 units step by step, and second is increasing by 5 units step by step. Step by step. So the next common term next common term would be occurring at a gap of LCM of 4 and 5. Is that right? ठीक है, मतलब अगर पहला टर्म चार चार बढ़ के पांच बार बढ़ गया तो इट विल बी 20. सिमिलरली नीचे वाला अगर पांच बार बढ़ के चार बार बढ़ गया इट विल बी 20 अगेन. So we need to find the LCM. LCM of 4 and 5 is basically 20. So after 20 difference, we'll get the common terms. Yes or no? Is that clear, everyone? Is that clear, everyone? I hope it is clear to all of you. Please be interactive. So I can take either of the series. Let me take the first one. The first term is 21. The series, this is the series of the common terms. After every 20 units, I'll find the common terms. Next will be 41, then I'll have 61, then I'll have 81, and so on till 100 terms. Clear? So we have to find the sum of this series. Now all of us know that sum of n terms in an arithmetic progression is given by n by 2 times a plus l. Right? All of you know that? N is the number of terms, a is the first term, and l is the last term. Here we don't know the last term, so we can use another formula, which will be n by 2. Inside the bracket, we'll have 2a plus n minus 1 times d. So tell me which one will be a better formula to use in this case. N is the number of terms, a is the first term, d is the common difference. So we can use the second formula. Yes or no? We have two formulae. If last term is known, the first one. If it is not known and difference is known, we can do the second one. Cool. Let us put in the values and get the answer. Great. So when you calculate it, the answer will be option B. I hope all of you have got that. It's an easy question, not a difficult one. But whenever you have a question like this, the main thing, the take home lesson is that we need to find the LCM of the common differences, then everything is sorted. Is that clear? So this is the main learning for this question. Now let us move to the second question. If the ratio of the roots of the equation x square minus 2ax plus b is equal to 0 is equal to that of the roots of x square minus 2cx plus d equal to 0, then which of the following five will be correct? By the way, in that we have five options. I hope you know that. Ratio of roots is equal. Wow. By the way, tell me something. How would you rate this question? The previous one was moderate. Is this difficult? Or this is also moderate? Moderate. Okay. How many of you are, there are multiple ways to solve this question, right? But we need to make our life easier. How to do that? How many of you are doing it this way? let the roots be alpha 1. Here you can let the roots be alpha 1 and beta 1. For this, you can have the roots as alpha 2 and beta 2. And then you can find, you know, equate the ratio and get to the answer. How many of you are approaching this question in this way? By the way, there's a smart approach to it also. Let us do something which is smart. So instead of assuming the roots to be alpha 1, beta 1, we can do one very simple thing. And that is, I can assume the roots of this equation to be equal to P and Kp. And for this, I can assume the roots to be equal to Q and KQ. Hi, Chiranjeev. Thanks. So I hope this is clear. Is the step clear to all of you? Tell me in the comments, be quick. The ratio is same. That means, so I have taken the constant of proportionality to be equal to K. First root is P, second will be Kp. Here the first root is Q, second will be Kq. Why have I done this? Just to have least number of variables as possible. And this will make our life easier, right? Now we can do all this stuff. Sum of roots. If I do it for this one, P plus Kp, sum of roots is equal to minus B by A. Here it is 2A. And the product of roots, if I multiply them, I'll get P square K, that will be equal to B. Similarly, for this equation, Q plus KQ will be equal to 2C and Q square K will be equal to D. So tell me in the comments, do you think assuming the roots in this way will be beneficial and be time saving? This is all we have to understand, right? So all of us know mathematics, but we just have to be smart enough to use mathematics to our benefit. Is that right? Please be interactive. So now let us try to solve these two. So if I divide these two, what will I get? I'll use the whiting for that. If I divide these two, so this from this, taking p common, k plus 1 divided by, from here taking q common, k plus 1, this will be equal to 2a upon 2c. As you can see, k plus 1 gets cancelled, 2 gets cancelled. Now we have p by q is equal to a by c, right? Similarly, we can do one more thing. If I try to solve this and this, I'll use green ink over here. And again, I divide. So p square k upon q square k will be equal to b upon d. Here you can see that k and k gets cancelled. Now we have two things, the ratio of p or and q and the ratio of p square and q square. P square and q square. Cool? So by comparing these two, if I take the square, I can get a square by c square from this is equal to b by d. Let us look at the options. If I cross multiply, d goes here, I'll get a square d will be equal to c square b, which is our option C. See, so how easily we can solve this question? Just by assuming the roots this way. It will not take more than 1 minute to solve this question. Yes or no? Kashish, Shivansh, Chiranjeev, and others. Looks good. Should we move ahead? Please try to interact. Next one. ABCD is a square whose side is 2 centimeter each, taking AB and AD as axis. When they say axis, that means it's X and Y axis. The equation of the circle circumscribing the square is, we have five options. What is what does circumscribe means? The circle will be lying outside the square and touching the vertices of the square. So, what all things are required for this question? We need to know one formula. The formula for the equation of a circle. So, if I assume radius to be equal to r and center to be equal to a comma b, then the equation of circle will be x minus a whole square plus y minus b whole square will be equal to r square. I hope all of you know this equation. If you do not know, no problem, it's in front of you. Do you know this? Keep noting these things down. It'll be very helpful for you. We'll also have a session on quant arithmetic. Geometry has been done. Today is algebra. Then we'll be having arithmetic. We'll also have decision making and critical reasoning sessions. Great. All we have to do is to draw some diagram. Let us draw a diagram. These are the axes that I have made, x-axis and y-axis. AB and AD are the axes, that is what they are saying. So that means the origin will be A, 0, comma 0, AB and AD. So if I draw a square like this is B, this one is C, and this one is D. This is the square that we have in front of us. Shivansh, last in class 11th. And in CAT, normally we don't do these things, right? Because in CAT, coordinate geometry is very rare. But in XAT, it is there. So do you guys want me to take a session on XAT relevant quant formulae? In between, I can do a session for that as well. Certain things are extra in XAT. And sometimes it is said that quant of XAT is more difficult than that of CAT. By the way, once we have marked this is 0, comma 0. And as the side is 2, this will be 2, comma 0. This will be 2, comma 2. And this guy will be 0, comma 2. Now we have this in front of us. Kashish, okay, I'll do that. Well, keep that in mind. Now, there is a circle which circumscribes it. So the circle will look something like this. I'll just try to draw a perfect circle. Oh, wow, I have drawn that. I'm so proud of myself. Okay, the center of this circle and center of the square, when I say center of square, I mean the point at which the diagonals meet. Hi, Moksh, you are late to the class. So this this point will be the center of this circumcircle. At the same time, this point will be the intersection of the diagonals of the square. Yes or no? Is that right? Now, all I want to know from you, tell me what will be the coordinates of this center. Be quick, tell me. Thus, by logic and common sense, you can tell me the center. बीचों बीच होगा 0 से 2 के बीच यहाँ से भी 0 2 के बीच it will be 1 comma 1, right? This will be 1 comma 1. Okay, and what will be the radius of this circle? रेडियस वो कितना हो जाएगा? So if I join these points A and C, this is essentially the diameter. Diameter of this circle is same as diagonal of the square, right? शिवांश नहीं, मुझे मालूम था यही गलती करोगे. 2√2 नहीं होगा ना भाई, सिर्फ √2 होगा. 2√2 will be the, yes, Shivansh, right. So this AC is 2√2. This hole is a diameter. We need the radius only. Radius will be √2. By Pythagoras theorem, we can do that. In fact, we know this. Now our life is sorted. Just start putting the values in the equation. Moksh, you sure about that? So x minus this 1 whole square plus y minus this 1 from the center whole square is equal to square of the radius, that is √2 ka square, which comes out to be 2. You can just solve this and get our answer. जल्दी से बताओ क्या आंसर होगा? Let us expand these. X square minus 2x plus 1 plus y square minus 2y plus 1 is equal to 2. Cool. Now I can, okay, if I look at these options, I want something like that. One thing I'm sure of, in the left hand side we have plus 1, right we have 2. All of this will be cancelled. All that we are left with is x square, y square, minus 2x and minus 2y. So x square plus y square, just rearranging the terms, minus taking minus 2 common, we have x plus y over here. This thing will be equal to 0. Exactly. The answer is शिवांश ने डी बोल दिया. शिवांश फिर से देखो एक बार. Are you sure? This will be equal to x square plus y square is equal to, taking that on the right hand side, this is what we get, 2 times x plus y. कौन सा है? Option E. So option E is the correct answer over here. मोक्ष क्लियर है ये? So I am also planning, like some people said that I should take a formula sort of quant formula sort of class specifically to XAT, because in XAT we also have coordinate geometry. So that is why I'll do that. Let us go to the next question now. By the way, how is this question? Isn't it beautiful? A lot of things are involved over here. Coming to next one. If the common factor of px square plus qx plus r and qx square plus px plus r is x plus 2, then what is true? I have tried to include all the aspects of algebra through the questions. Yes, Kashish, we will do that. Those who will be watching this afterwards, there's a lot of people for CAT, they are working professionals. So for working professionals, I'm just waiting for 2 minutes for every question that you start practicing, and then I'll give the solution. This is how this class will be conducted. By the way, to solve this question, I would like to revisit one basic, I would say, not a formula, but a fact in algebra, and that is called as remainder theorem. अगर भूल गए हो कैट की तैयारी के बाद तो कोई बात नहीं, याद आ जाएगा. अगर नहीं पता तो मालूम पड़ जाएगा. What is remainder theorem? So it goes like this. Fx when divided by x minus a. So I'm using mathematical terminology. I hope you understand this is modulo function, or it means the remainder function. Fx mod x minus a is equal to f of a. Those who do not understand this terminology, I'll just tell you, it's like if I say 7 mod 3, this will be equal to 1. So basically it's a remainder function. So 7 when divided by 3 leaves 1 as the remainder. 6 mod 2 will be equal to 0. So 6 when divided by 2 leaves 0 as a remainder. This is what this mod means. Is that clear? So remainder theorem में क्या करना है, कोई function दिया आपके सामने, उसको आपको x माइनस ए से डिवाइड करना है, रिमाइंडर क्या आएगा, जहां जहां x है फंक्शन वहां वहां a पुट कर दो, दैट्स इट. Which means that if you see these expressions, these two expressions, and we divide this by x plus 2, then the remainder will be obtained when I put x as minus 2 in both of this. I think Vishal has solved it, but those who did not know, now is it clear? दोनों का कॉमन फैक्टर है, मतलब दोनों को डिवाइड कर देगा. Now tell me something. If x plus 2 is a factor, what does that mean? That if I divide these expressions by x plus 2, I'll get 0 as the remainder. Right? Is that clear? Kashish, Shivansh, Moksh, Vishal. Vishal has already solved. Is that clear? Tell me. Be quick. Remainder 0 हो जाएगा. Okay. The moment I put x as minus 2. Let me do that. So, I'll do it here. So, at x is equal to minus 2, this becomes 4p minus 2q plus r. This will be equal to 0. And similarly, this one, 4q minus 2p plus r also becomes 0. What next? We have two equations in front of us. Let this be equation number 1 and let this be equation number 2. As you can see, r is common to both of them, so I can just subtract 2 from 1. R gets cancelled. I'm subtracting, right? So 4p minus of minus 2p will be giving us 6p, minus 2q minus 4q will be giving us minus 6q. This is equal to 0, which means taking 6 common, I can say p minus q is 0, or we can say p and q are equal. So one thing is, or p is equal to q. That is something we are sure of. p और q तो भाई equal है, ये तो कंफर्म है. तो e ऑप्शन तो वैसे ही खत्म हो गया, इतना श्योर है, राइट? अब क्यू आर के बराबर है कि नहीं, ये हमें नहीं पता. अगर वो मालूम पड़ गया तो हम श्योर हो जाएंगे, अदरवाइज डी कैन ऑल्सो बी करेक्ट इफ इट इज इक्वल टू आर एज वेल. What can be done now? This is what we have got from addition. Now can we subtract? Shivansh has also got the answer. Subtract here. Now can we add? Waiting for other answers as well. P और Q बराबर हो गया तो we can put this value anywhere. Let us put the value P is equal to Q in equation number 1. If I put P is equal to Q, so this Q, so basically it becomes 4P minus 2P plus R is equal to 0, which means 2P plus R is equal to 0, which also means which also means that P is equal to minus of R by 2. And as we know, Q is also equal to that. So Q is also equal to minus of R by 2. P and Q are equal, but not equal to R. So D भी खत्म हो गया. So P is equal to Q, we can see over here. And if I add P plus Q plus R, would I get 0? Of course, I'll get. So option A is correct one. Let us put the values. So if I try to solve P plus Q plus R, P and Q are minus R by 2 each. If you solve this, you will get 0 in the end. So option A is correct. Well done. Very good. Let us go to the next question. The GCD, what is GCD? Greatest common divisor, also known as HCF. And LCM of two polynomials are respectively x plus 1 and 2 times x plus 1 times x squared minus 4. If one of the polynomials is x plus 1 and x minus 2, it's already given. The other is, I think it's a very easy question. Without even using your pen or paper, you can solve this. X plus 1 should be present in both of the variables, for sure. Shivansh says it's D. Very good, Shivansh. Well done. So as you can see that here we already have x plus 1 and x minus 2 is also there. What we don't have is 2 and x plus 2. So we'll choose something in which in which we get 2 as well as x plus 2. और x plus 1 तो होना ही चाहिए, right? X plus 1 तो होना ही चाहिए. It is common to both. So x plus 1 multiplied by x plus 2 multiplied by 2, ये तो कम से कम होना ही चाहिए. साथ में x minus 2 अगर आ भी गया तो गलत रहेगी. वो GCD है. GCD only occurs once because x minus 2 is common to both of them. So this should be the answer. Let us expand this. I'll get x squared plus 3x plus 2. Opening the bracket, I'll get 2x squared, just double of it, plus 6x plus 4. That is option D. Very good. Vishal, Kashish, Shivansh, well done. An easy question. Let us go to the next one. If the expression this ax squared plus bx plus c is equal to 4 when x equal to 0 leaves the remainder of 4 when divided by x plus 1 and a remainder of 6 when divided by x plus 2, then the values of a, b, and c are respectively what? Tanu, I think she has just joined. Tanu, well done. यहाँ भी रिमाइंडर फंक्शन यूज हो जाएगा. Well, from the first line itself, if I put x equal to 0, this a and b will be useless. All we have is c is equal to 4. From the first condition itself, that is what we get. अगली कंडीशन बोल रहा है कि leaves the remainder of 4 when divided by x plus 1. X plus 1, that means at x equal to minus 1, this value will be 4. Let us put minus 1 over there. X square minus 1 ka square is 1 only. So I'll get a minus b plus c is equal to 6. By the way, instead of writing c, we can directly write 4. Right? So let us do that. Which further means that a minus b is equal to 2. Now we have this with us. We have this with us. What else do we have? On the final condition, a remainder of 6 when divided by x plus 2. So basically, at x equal to minus 2, I put it here. Minus 2 ka square is plus 4. I'll get 4a minus 2b plus c is equal to 6. That is the remainder. It's given in the question itself. Again, instead of writing the c, I can just write 4. है ना? हमें अपनी जिंदगी को आसान बनाना है. Let us put 4 over here. This means 4a minus 2b will be equal to 2. Dividing this whole by 2, I'll get 2a minus b is equal to 1. Now I have this as well. इतनी चीजें हैं हमारे पास. C तो 4 है. अब C तो 4 हर किसी में है. In all the options we have C as 4. Not helping. But we have these two, which can be solved to get the values of A and B. मैंने यहाँ पे कुछ गड़बड़ किया है छोटा सा. क्या गड़बड़ किया है कि दिस इज 4 नॉट 6. है ना? कोई बोल भी नहीं रहा. A minus B equal to 0, which means A is equal to B. Exactly, Vishal. A is equal to B. So A and B are equal. 2A minus B equal to 1. You can just put A as B over here. So you will get 2A minus A is equal to 1, which means A is equal to 1. And A and B are equal. So 1, 1, 4 option A is correct. Great. Only Vishal got the answer. शिवांश थोड़ा गलत हो गया आपका. Clear? First equation में equal to 4 होगा. Okay. Now coming to the next one. The condition that x to the power 5 plus 10x to the power 4 minus 7x cube plus 10ax plus 5a square will contain x plus 1 as a factor is. Let us be quick. Again, we can put x as minus 1. Let's put over here. Minus 1 की पावर 5 minus 1 ही होगा. Even power पे it will be plus 1 plus 7 minus 10a plus 5a square is equal to 0. Let's solve this and get the answer. So rearranging in terms of decreasing powers of a, 5 square minus 10a, this will be plus 16 is equal to 0. Which one is correct? Option C. An easy question. Got it? Everyone, Vishal, Shivansh, Tanu, Kashish. Here comes the next one. Now the question has been changed thoda sa. If x cube plus 2x square plus ax plus b is exactly divisible by x square minus 1, then the values of a and b are respectively what? Okay, tell me, Vishal and Shivansh and Tanu and Kashish, what will be keep the value of x in this case, in this question? What needs to be done here? x की वैल्यू क्या रखेंगे? Plus 1 and minus 1, exactly. Very good. Because x square minus 1 equal to 0. Cool. So once you do that, you'll get the answer. At x equal to 1, we'll get 1 plus 2 plus a plus b is equal to 0, which means a plus b is equal to minus 3. And at x equal to minus 1 plus 2 minus a plus b will be equal to 0, which means minus a plus b is equal to minus 1. We have these two. And by solving these two, we can get the answer. So if I add them, a gets cancelled, 2b is minus 4, so b is minus 2 in that case, and a will be minus 1, of course. So C is the correct one. आसान सवाल था ये, बड़ी बात नहीं इसे सॉल्व करने में. तनु, yeah, you got it right. विशाल, very good. विशाल ने A लिखा हुआ है. विशाल, it's not A, it should be C. Let us do a question of log. The domain of the function this is equal to what? चलो ये करते हैं. Domain is the value of x and range is the value of fx. In case you need a revision, domain x की value होगी and range will be the value of fx. Here we need the value of x, not fx. Okay. So let's try to solve this one. No problem, Vishal. Let's try to solve this question. Vishal says it's A. Vishal is very fast. What about others? कशिश बोल रही है स्टार्ट ही नहीं समझ आ रहा. सर नॉट गुड एट दिस टॉपिक. कशिश डो नो प्रॉब्लम. आई थिंक दैट क्वांट का एक रिवीजन पूरा करना बहुत जरूरी हो गया है. ओके, आई प्लान दैट सेशन वंस. बट नो प्रॉब्लम. दिस वन थिंग व्हिच ऑल ऑफ अस शुड नो. थोड़ा सा मैं एक जल्दी से क्विक रिवीजन देता हूँ लॉग का. व्हाट इज लॉग बेसिकली? सो व्हेन आई से log of 4 base 2 equal to 2, this means 2 square is equal to 4. In another way, we can say that if a to the power n is equal to b, that means log of b at the base of a is equal to n. This is by definition. I won't go to the properties of logs because in this class we're discussing only the questions. But this is what we need to understand. The other thing we need to understand is, एक बात सोचो, a की पावर n इक्वल टू b है. अगर अगर समझना सब लोग ध्यान से, if I say n is negative, n is negative, is it possible that n can be negative? Is that possible? जैसे a की पावर -1 इक्वल टू b. अगर ये होता है, that means log of b to the base a will be equal to -1. This is possible. n less than 0 is possible. n equal to 0 वो भी possible है. Anything raised to power 0 equal to 1. When n is 0, b will already all become 1. n can be greater than 0 also. All these things are possible. What is not possible? हम कभी भी किसी भी चीज की कोई भी पावर डाल के जीरो नहीं ला सकते. a to the power n can never be 0. I hope you know that. Unless a is also 0. मतलब a को मैंने पॉजिटिव लिया है. So a is positive. a to the power n can never be 0. Is that right? a to the power n can never be 0. That means this b can never be 0. इसको 0 होना पॉसिबल नहीं है. और किसी भी चीज की कोई पावर डाल के हम नेगेटिव भी नहीं ला सकते. दैट मीन्स बी नेगेटिव भी नहीं हो सकता. बी कैन नॉट बी नेगेटिव. सो बी हैज टू बी ग्रेटर देन 0 ऑलवेज. कैन वी से दैट? तुम कुछ भी कर दो, किसी चीज की पावर कुछ भी कर दो, ये नेगेटिव कभी नहीं हो पाएगा और ना ही 0 हो पाएगा. दैट इज समथिंग विच वी अंडरस्टैंड क्लियरली. इज दैट राइट? Kashish, do you get that? I'll also draw a graph. This is how the graph of log looks like. This is x, and at y we have log x. So as you can see कि ये ग्राफ नेगेटिव साइड तो आ ही नहीं रहा, नेगेटिव x पे आ ही नहीं रहा. What does that mean? That log of negative values does not exist. Can we say that? Log of negative values does not exist. And moreover, if you see that this graph is not even touching y-axis, that means the x cannot even be 0. तो सीधी सी बात है, looking at this graph, we can say that x has to be greater than 0. That is one thing. The other thing is the point at which the graph cuts the x-axis. This will be equal to how much? Equal to how much? Anyone? Can you tell me? This will be equal to 1, 0. जैसी x की वैल्यू 1 हो जाएगी, log of x की वैल्यू 0 हो जाएगी. कि anything raised to power 0 is equal to 1. We are sure about that. एक चीज और देखने की बात है. मैं एक चीज दिखाता हूं. If this point is 10, let's say this point is 10, then, so I'm assuming the base is 10 because we take the decimal number system unless given, the base is 10. So this point will be equal to how much? 1. Is that right? तो यहां समझने की बात यह है कि 1 से आगे जब मैं जा रहा हूं अगर, तो जिस स्पीड से x की वैल्यू बढ़ रही है उस स्पीड से log x की वैल्यू नहीं बढ़ रही है. The rate at which x is increasing is lot more than rate at which log x is increasing, isn't it? From 1 to 10 we have moved 9 steps along the x-axis, but on y we have moved only 1 step. Clear? अगर आप देखो इसको मैं और आगे बढ़ाऊंगा, if I move to 100, this will move to 2. Log 100 is 2. So if the x moves total of 99 steps, y will move only for 2 steps. So rate at which x increases, y's rate is, log x's rate is lot less than that. And it keeps on happening throughout. That is why you can see the slope of the graph slowly, it becomes steep. It becomes constant, almost constant. अगर ये और आगे बढ़ेगा एक टाइम पे स्ट्रेट लाइन टाइप दिखने लगेगी, नॉट एक्जैक्टली स्ट्रेट लाइन बट लुक लाइक स्ट्रेट लाइन. But there's one more very particular and beautiful thing about logs, that in this distance, the distance of 0 to 1, the value of log x has increased by infinite steps. Can we say that? See, kitna steep slope hai. It's almost like a straight line. So 0, this graph will never touch x equal to 0. और माइनस इंफिनिटी से लेके 1 तक आने के सफर में इट विल हैव माइनस इंफिनिटी से ये यहां तक जाएगा, बहुत स्पीड में जाएगा. तो आई कैन से फ्रॉम 0 to 1, which is essentially the sphere of fractions. So when we have fraction, the value of log is negative and it increases at a very high speed. Is that clear, all of you? Kashish, Tanu, Sati, Vishal, is that clear? ठीक है. यहां देखो 0 से 1 सिर्फ एक स्टेप एक्स एक्सिस में बढ़ा, बट वाई में इनफाइनाइट स्टेप्स बढ़ गया. बट आफ्टर 1 दिस स्पीड इन वाई बिकम्स वेरी लो. Cool. Kashish, is that clear? Very good. So now coming back to the question, which means, so now we know that this guy has to be greater than 0. 20x minus x squared minus 91 has to be greater than 0. Now you can solve it. I think this is how, um, who solved that? Vishal solved that, right, Vishal? Cool. वैसे लॉग्स पे मैं एक वीडियो बना के डाल दूंगा इसमें, डिटेल, a video of 10 minutes to get the basics clear. Let us multiply this by minus 1. So what is going to happen? All the positives will become negatives and all the negatives will become positive, and the sign of inequality will change. You know that, right? If I multiply by minus 1, the sign of inequality changes. Yes or no? Once it has changed, now we can solve it. We can solve it by different ways. How do you solve it, Vishal? ये तो चलो ठीक है, ब्रेक हो जाएगा. ये क्वाड्रेटिक है. Easily you can break it. You can use a wavy curve method. You can also try to make the graph of it, which will look something like this. Okay, tell me, everyone. You can solve this easily, right? It's very easy. 91 ka factors are 7 and 13. So how many of you do it this way? X squared minus 7x minus 13x plus 91. And after that, you take x common and you do all that stuff and tend to waste a lot of time. How many of you do it this way? ऐसे करते रहोगे, and then, do you do it this way? Or do you have something smarter approach? By the way, this is how the graph will look like. I hope that all of you know that a quadratic function has a parabolic graph, and and if the coefficient of x square is positive, the graph will be upward facing. These are the roots 7 and 13. So we have made the graph and we need all the values at which the graph is less than 0, which is this value. 7 से लेके 13 तक. But 7 or 13 will not be involved. 7 and 13 should not be included. That is why we'll choose the open interval. And I'm sure you know what is open interval. SATI says factors and divide by coefficient of x square. SATI, there's one more thing. जो भी आप इसे ब्रेक करोगे उसको साइन को रिवर्स कर देंगे, राइट? SATI, good Vishal, very good, cool. That is how we should do it. Minus 7, minus 13, we have broken it. Reverse the sign, negative becomes positive, divide by the coefficient of x, which is 1 in this case. Cool. So though you know it, great. If you don't know it, I have told it right now. 7 to 13 open intervals, 700 would not be included. That is why we choose the open interval. By the way, all these intervals are open only in this case. Very good. So we have some intelligent people over here. Let us go to the next question. P and Q are positive numbers such that P to the power Q is equal to Q to the power P and Q is equal to 9P. What is the value of P? Chatty, what's your name, by the way? Satyendra. Satyam. Okay. I think this one is an easy question. Q is 9P. Let's put the values here. So I'll get P to the power 9P is equal to 9P to the power P. That is how it looks like. Which further means P to the power 9P is equal to 9 to the power P multiplied by P to the power P. And now these two will be can cancel each other, right? So I'll get P to the power 8P is equal to 9 to the power P. What do we want? The value of P. Tanu has the answer. It's D. Of course, it's D. Adam, again up. The value of P is 8th root of 9, which is option D. Great. This is a question just to build the concept. Now we go to another question. A polynomial, it's a cubic polynomial. Ax cubed plus bx squared plus cx plus d intersects x axis at 1 and minus 1 and y axis at 2. The value of b is what? अच्छा ये बताओ अगर बोल रहा है what is this language intersects x axis at 1 and minus 1, what what is the mathematical implication of this intersects at 1 and minus 1? What does it mean? Anyone? Can we say 1 and minus 1 are the roots of this polynomial? Zeros of this polynomial? Correct word is zeros. When it becomes an equation, we have roots. It's an expression. We have the zeros. I hope you know that. So 1 and minus 1 are the values which this becomes 0. Right? If I try to draw the graph, I think it will look like Something like this. One, two, and three, isn't it? Something like this. ऐसे दिखेगा ना? With this is one, this is minus one, and this guy is two, right? Something like this. Graph ऐसे दिखाई देगा. Anyways, we don't have to draw the graph. I just drew it just as to give you some kind of perspective. Okay, so to solve this question, what can be done? At x equal to 1, what do we get? Let us put 1 over here. A plus B plus C plus D is equal to 0. At x equal to minus 1, what do we get? Minus A plus B minus C plus D is equal to 0. And y-axis at 2. What is the interpretation of this? देखो मैंने graph बनाया. You got the perspective? Kashish will tell me, Kashish, if we say that it uh, cuts, it intersects y-axis at 2, what does that mean? That here x equal to 0, isn't it? Y-axis is actually x equal to 0. That's just the other name of y-axis. At x equal to 0, we got d is equal to 2. D is equal to 2 is what we get already. Clear? Tanu has got B as the answer, while Vishal has got A as the answer. I don't know who is correct. I'll wait for the answers as well. By the way, as we know that D is equal to 2, we can put it over here. So from here we can say A plus B plus C is equal to minus 2. And from here we can say, um, okay, we can say minus A plus B minus C is again equal to minus 2. Wow, which means these two are same. As we can see, the right hand side is same, left hand side has to be same, isn't it? याद है बचपन की बातें? When we were small kids, that is what we aimed for, isn't it? That somehow we have to prove LHS and RHS are equal. So as you can see, both the equations RHS is equal. LHS has to be equal, right? Moreover, we can do one more. We just add these two. If I add these two, A and C got cancelled. We have 2B is equal to minus 4, which means B is equal to minus 2. And having said that, A is correct, which means Vishal is Tanu is also now correct. पहले उसने B लिखा था. Cool. How many of you can, get nostalgic about that feeling? As kids, there were certain rules, LH is equal to RHS मिल जाए, मजा आ जाएगा. Hence proved लिखने को मिल जाए. Can you relate to that? So all of us tended to write, very beautiful writing, all the things very beautifully, and in the end, we wrote, in a stylish way, hence proved so and so, like we are giving some autograph, isn't it? How many of you can relate to that? And we got a boost of confidence, boost of dopamine कि अरे वाह hence proved लिखने का मौका मिल गया मतलब सब सही जा रहा है. Do you get that feeling? Coming to the next question. This is going to be the last question for today. Right, Tanu? Yeah. Tanu, I read that. Absolutely, I got that. This is going to last question for today. X comma 17 comma 3x minus y square minus 2 and 3x plus y square minus 30 are four consecutive terms of an increasing arithmetic sequence. The sum of the four numbers is divisible by what? All the terms are integers. That is given to us. And I can see here, apart from just being mathematically evolved, try to be, interactive, try to have fun with maths, be in love with mathematics. There are, there should be a lot of memories attached, to any sequence, to any formula, to any trivia, or to any childhood memory, which makes mathematics a beautiful subject to study. Anyways, this question, increasing arithmetic sequence, what can be done here? Tanu got A as the answer. Tanu, would you mind sharing your logic? How did you get 2 as the answer? Amit says, what is cat? Amit, why do you ask that? I'm assuming you are a student who is aspiring to do an MBA, isn't it? By the way, if you're asking seriously, CAT is a common admission test, which is an entrance test to top B schools in India, including IIMs, Indian Institute of Management. So once you get the highest scores in the written CAT, then comes the group discussion, personal interview, and writing ability test to get admission to seek admission into the top B schools of India for doing an MBA, PGM, PGP, PGDM, etc. That is what CAT is. Just an example. Sometimes I say it's the exam of life. How many believe in that? Because it tests your mathematical skills, your language skills, your logical skills, also your writing skills in the second stage, your communication, your body and everything, body language. Yeah, it tests you on all the things. So it's test of life, I would say. Anyways, this question, is it difficult? Tanu has already solved it, but Tanu is not telling how she solved it. We have four terms over here, and their sum will be divisible by what? Let us try to find the sum. First of all, we have x, we have 17, we have 3x minus y square minus 2, then we have 3x plus y square minus 30. सबसे पहले तो इनको ऐड कर लेते हैं, let's do simple things first. If I add them all, and by the way, there's one very good thing about adding this, that we have minus y square and plus y square. This will get cancelled. We are lucky to have such numbers with us that they will get cancelled and life will be easier. If I add them all, I'll get 7x, 3x plus 3x plus x, 17 minus 2 minus 30, it will be minus 15. This is what I get. 7x minus 15 is what I get. And 7x minus 15 will be divisible by what? Tanu has given the uh, reply. If using summation formula mathematics, then there is n is equal to 4 by adding with the 2 to the. Okay, I think I got what you said. So 7x minus 15 is what we get. How many of you are stuck at this step? Chalo, add to kar liya. Now. See, a lot of you are not doing it this way. Oh, Amit, okay. JE aspirant. Cool. CAT is for once you do your BTech, and I wish you the best that you crack IIT. After that, a lot of IITians go to IIM for pursuing their MBA. A lot of my friends have done that. Anyways, 75 minutes. So people, how many of you got stuck at this? That you tried to put x equal to 1, and then you got 7 minus 8, then you put x equal to 2, and did all that stuff. You put x is 2, 7 to 40 minutes is minus 1. So you can see that minus 8 is divisible by 2, but not minus 1. So I think a lot of you must have got stuck here that in every alternate case we are getting an even number, and that is why a can be correct, right? There's something which a lot of people got stuck in. Did you? By the way, there's one more thing that we need to understand in this question. Let us forget what our values do we have over there. Let's think about one simple thing. Any kind of arithmetic sequence looks like this. The first term is a, second term is a plus d, where d is the common difference. Then we have a plus 2d, then we have a plus 3d. Now, if I add all of them, I'll get 4a plus 6d. That is what I'm going to get. By the way, anyone can say that 4a plus 6d will always be even. Whatever the value of a and d we put, it will always be even. Why? Because a is getting multiplied with 4, which makes 4a even, and 6 is also even, and even plus even also even. This is even, which means now we can say 7x minus 15, which we got from your summation, must be equal to 4a plus 6d. Yes or no? Yes or no? And a is the first term. The first term in this sequence is x. Let's put x over here. Let's replace a by x. So I get 7x minus 15 is equal to 4x plus 6d, which further means if I just do all that 4x bringing here and then sending it there, 7x minus 4x is 3x. Minus 1 goes in the right hand side. I got 6d plus 15. That is what I got. That's what I have got. Dividing this whole by 3, I'll get x is equal to 2d plus 5. 2d plus 5. Now tell me something. From this, we are sure that x is an odd number. देखो, 2d is even, 5 is odd, even plus odd is always odd. So when x is odd, while we're putting x equal to 1, 2, we were getting that when x was odd, we got an even number. When x is even, we got an odd number. But from this, we have proved that x is odd. That means always the sum will be even. So option A is correct. Clear? This is the pure mathematics. By the way, you can also say कि इतना करने की जरूरत ही क्या है? ये देख जो तनु ने किया, ये देख के मालूम पड़ रहा है 4a plus 6 is even. The only even the it is even, so it will be multiple of 2. The only basically the only even option here is 2. So let's mark 2 and move away. Right? That is how you have solved Tanu. That is how a lot of you must have solved. But that is, our luck that all the options except 2 are odd. So we can just mark 2 in the first 10 seconds of this problem. But what if we had more such options? In that case, we should have a proper mathematical explanation, which we have now on the board, and I hope it is clear to all of you. But if something like this comes, only one even option, कुछ करना ही नहीं है, 2 को mark करो and आगे बढ़ जाओ. Is that cool? Is that clear, everyone? Tell me in the comments, be quick. Tanu, Vishal, Virat, Amit. Satyam, Kashish, Shivansh. Thanks, Amit, for that. Great. So this is the last question for today. I'll be coming up with some more sessions for that specifically. Amit, whenever this is mathematics, you can watch it. That might help you in IID, JEE entrance as well. So on the 1st of January, I'll be taking a session of on algebra is done. Geometry has been done yesterday. It'll be arithmetic now. Then there'll be other sessions on data interpretation, decision making, critical reasoning. That is something which comes in XAT, not in JEE, Amit. But wherever there is mathematics, you can just come here and enjoy it. So I hope that you learned a few new things and also revised the things which you might have forgotten. So all the memories must have come back just after CAT. And so let's make this count. Let's try to actually crack that the way we wanted to. How many of you interested in Excel Rai program, the HR program? I can say that Excel Rai is the best institute, best B school for HR in entire Asia, not just India. Okay, so Excel Rai is a great B school. A lot of friends are there. My friends, not right now, 7 years back, and I hope the people who did not somehow were unfortunate to get into top B schools through CAT, they have another chance to crack that and go to Accelerate. All the best to you. We'll meet again. Tomorrow there'll be some other trainer who will come live with some, I think, with critical reasoning something. We'll be notified earlier. Cool then. Bye bye. Take care, everyone. Cool, Vishal. Thank you. And yeah, I will have a session of the entire quant revision once. Sajjan sir and I both will come online in that session. Probably I'll take 3 hours marathon and we'll touch all the pain points of quant, specifically for ZAT. Because in CAT there were a lot of things which were not there, but in ZAT we have to touch coordinate geometry and probably trigonometry as well. Bye. Good night, everyone.